Hello, everyone. You'll notice in the upper right-hand corner of this page that you're seeing on your screen, the words updated 2024. I created a version of this AI philosophical statement on ethical use back in 2023, early in the year when ChatGPT and generative AI was kind of a new thing. It had just landed in November of 2022 and kind of rocked our world. We didn't know what to do with it. And a lot of the concerns were about reining it in. Trying to persuade students not to use it, trying not to use it ourselves. But a lot has changed in the past year. I've been attending numerous workshops, some of them virtually from across the country with educators from community colleges and other parts of the U.S., and many in-person workshops down at Boston University where they have done a lot of work with having students and faculty cooperate in hammering out how exactly are we going to address the way that AI is changing education. All that to say, I have updated this statement to reflect what I think about this right now. And I hope that this video and the material that you see in this document will be helpful to you in thinking through how you are going to interact with AI as a student and as a person in this world, because it's not going away. It's getting bigger, it's getting better, and we need to adapt our way of thinking about it away from trying to treat it as a cheating matter or plagiarism. We need to evolve beyond that and treat it as what it is, which is a technological tool that can either help us or harm us depending on how we use it. So let's dive in. The way that I've gone about crafting this statement is the way I do all of my teaching and my course preparation, which is around a believe, value, do model. I personally think that anything that we do as educators and as human beings should be values driven. They should not just be arbitrary. So in crafting a policy around AI for my classes, I begin with what do I believe that has bearing on this, and then what do I value, and then what are going to be my policies that come out of those beliefs and values. So let's just go through these real quickly. So first of all, the beliefs that have a bearing on these classes that you are taking and I am teaching. So bear with me here because I want you to hear my thought process as I think aloud about this with you. So first of all, I believe all human beings are intrinsically valuable because they're human and alive. I don't believe that humans are superior to other forms of life, but I do believe they are unique and that life takes priority over non-life. So when we're talking about human versus AI, we're talking about life versus non-life. Among traits that make humans unique is self-awareness. We have the ability to think about our thoughts, to reflect, to introspect. And because this ability is our unique trust as humans, we have a responsibility to cultivate it, develop it to its fullest. Human language has the capacity to express abstract thought, use imagery and metaphor, and embody ideas in a way that, as far as we know, is unique to our species. So again, we have a duty to steward that gift of language. And then I believe that humans and technology live in a complicated state of interdependence, a bit like a coral and a coral reef. I'm borrowing that from a book called What Technology Wants by Kevin Kelly. In 2024, it is nearly impossible for us to separate our lives from the technology that supports us. However, fundamentally, it is significant that humans are alive and technology is not. So when we think about the coral and the reef, the coral is this little animal that lives inside that crusty structure. But yet it cannot really live without that crusty structure, nor would that crusty structure that we know as the reef exist if not for the living coral within it. So this is the way I envision our relationship with technology. We really are part of it, but we are the thing that is alive. Technology is the thing that serves our needs. We need to remember that. So next, what are the values stemming from these beliefs that have a bearing on these classes? Well, first of all, I value human thoughts, feelings, creation, and ideas. I think it's interesting what AI can generate, but I would not call it a creation. I value human learning, growth, development, enlightenment, and change. I value human reflection on human experiences and expressions of human writing about what it is like to be human. So what we bring to the page when we write is our experience of our humanity, not just concepts and words that can be created by generative AI, but our experiences and our feelings in a way that connects to other humans when they read our words. I value human communities and the bonds of friendship and trust that they form when they're open and honest with each other. In that sense, I value collaboration, sharing, and the meeting of minds. But I also value the way technology can be leveraged to amplify human ingenuity through speed and efficiency, expanding the reach of our ideas and enhancing our productivity. There have been studies done on looking at the output of humans working alone on a project, AI working alone on a project, and humans collaborating with AI. And the humans collaborating with AI produce far better results than either of the two do independently of one another. So there is definitely value in the collaborative aspect of what we can do with generative AI. So what are the behaviors that I expect or require, my policies based on these beliefs and values? And these are things I hold myself to as well in my own work. I expect you to do your own thinking, generating your own ideas, viewing technology as your assistant and collaborator, not delegating tasks to it, but strategically cooperating with it and accomplishing certain tasks while retaining other tasks entirely for yourself. And we'll talk a little bit about more about that later. This is important. I expect you to read what is assigned, to think about it, and to respond to it with your own perspectives, connecting reading to your own lived experience. There is AI, I'm sure that if you don't know this already, you'll discover it at some point. Someone will clue you into this, that there are AI programs that you can feed an entire article or an entire chapter of a book into, and it will summarize it for you. It will digest it and summarize it for you. Do not use that technology at this level of your academic career. You really must develop your reading skills. Now, down the road, if you're in graduate school and you have a zillion articles that you have to digest for some big paper you have to write, then that might be an appropriate time for you to leverage that kind of technology to improve your efficiency. But if you let AI do your reading for you at this stage, you are going to hobble your ability to succeed in college, in higher ed. So do not use that at this level. These first couple years of your college career, do not use that technology. You will only be hurting yourself. Secondly, I expect you to challenge yourself, even if it sometimes means working harder, not smarter. So resist the temptation to take shortcuts. Don't use technology as a means of avoiding learning or minimizing effort. There are ways you are going to be able to use it that are going to just improve your efficiency and offload tasks from you that aren't all that important in the process of some of these assignments that you'll be doing. But there are a lot of tasks that require effort. And if you rob yourself of that, of putting in that effort, you're going to minimize the satisfaction that you feel in your own work. I expect you to incorporate truthful reflections on your process into your writing and be visible and present in your work. You're going to find that I want to see the I in your writing, even in your academic writing. I want you to narrate for me. I wondered, I explored, I discovered, and I now assert or argue. So I want to see you and your thought processes narrated in the course of your writing. I also expect you to play with language, take risks, try things out, find your style and your voice. Do not let AI speak for you or steal your voice. Robbing yourself of the opportunity to find your own voice in writing, even in academic writing, would be a terrible, terrible waste. This is a great way for you to just play around with language and figure out, what do you sound like on the page? What does your unique voice sound like? I also expect you to be present for your peers, reading their writing and thoughtfully responding to them in your own words. In other words, never use AI to generate a response to a peer in a discussion. I consider that to be the highest form of disrespect. if you feed a discussion post written by a peer into ChatGPT and have it craft a response, I consider that highly disrespectful to your classmates, and I take that very seriously. So what's in it for you to abide by these policies? Well, first of all, you'll become smarter, more skilled, less gullible, more persuasive. You'll be able to think on your feet because you know your way around your own thoughts. If you just drop every prompt into ChatGPT or into some AI and let it do your thinking for you, you're not even going to know what your own ideas are. You'll grow as a person. College is not just about cranking out assignments, meeting deadlines, and getting a piece of paper at the end of the degree. It's about exploring new ways of being in this world. It's about questioning things and finding answers for yourself so you know who you are and you aren't anybody's pawn or puppet. You will become more confident through finding your own voice and knowing your own mind. And you'll become more empathetic through engaging honestly with a community of peers. And grow in confidence, humility, or both, learning from others in real conversation. So the big question, can you use AI at all for anything in this course? The short answer is yes, depending on what course this is. I'm creating this kind of generically. But it will be clear in Canvas and in the syllabus. But basically, if you're doing a Comp 1 or a Comp 2 class, there will be some acceptable uses for AI. They will be specified for each assignment. I use icons of a red light, a yellow light, and a green light. Red light means absolutely no acceptable use, such as discussion board posts. Yellow means I'm going to specify particular uses that you may employ generative AI to help you out with. It may be something really minimal, like coming up with a catchy title or some early outlining or some research aspects. It may be something a little more substantial, but it will be very, very specifically spelled out for you. And then green might be any use allowed. Perhaps it has to do with using an image generator to create a really cool image that fits on an infographic or something like that. Something artistic and creative, I might just say go crazy. You can use this any way that you choose. So allowed use will be determined by the values that I've outlined above. They will be thoughtfully, specifically tailored to assignments. And that's what I want you to understand. I'm not anti-AI. I'm not against technology. I know fully that this is a very, very big part of all of our futures, and we need to be skillful in using it, but we also need to be thoughtful in when we're not going to use it. As I said, I hope that this is helpful to you in thinking through your own values and beliefs and actions around AI for your own work and your career and your academic work as well. So watch for these red, yellow, and green lights and the specific designations that you will find in individual assignments built into Canvas.